Hello children. So we learnt about the diseases caused by microorganisms in human beings and diseases caused by microorganisms in animals. What are those in animals? Anthrax, foot and mouth disease in cows and all, viral diseases in prawns, fowl pox, bird flu in poultry, rabies in dogs. Like that, many diseases, animal diseases are there. Now let us see some of the diseases caused by microorganisms in plants. Citrus canker. If you notice some of the lemons, when you are buying the lemons, in some of the lemons on top you get small spotty rusty spots you find. If too many are there, and if you notice the plant or the tree, that particular tree, almost all the fruit are having that rusty spots, it means that the tree is infected. That means the tree is having a disease called citrus canker. What is the name of the disease? Citrus canker. What is a causative organism? Bacteria. What bacteria? Xanthomonas citri. Xanthomonas citri. Children, any one of you play name place animal thing? That is a very interesting word game where you learn so many words in an interesting way. If you ever play name place animal thing, remember with X you have one more organism, that is Xanthomonas citri. But any time you mention the full name Xanthomonas citri, if you simply mention Xanthomonas, you will be bound to be losing marks. And if you are playing another type of word game where you are asked to start a word with X, but with X we remember very few short words only, and you get a count for the number of letters in them, Xanthomonas citri will give you lot of points. Xerox machine, all these are common things people will use up very fast. But if you get a challenge with X, remember Xanthomonas citri is an interesting thing. And if you don't know about name place animal thing, children know about it and start playing with your parents also at home. It is an interesting game. It will be useful for your vocabulary also. Instead of sitting in front of the TV or watching cell games and all that, this will be more interesting, and the whole family will be enjoying and engaging in good thing, right? Okay, next thing, and you all might be enjoying eating sugar canes. Sugarcane, usually in winter season when we get at the time of Pongal, Sankranti season we get, and we choose the sugar canes and buy. Okay, what do we choose for? We want to see that there is no red color line present in the sugar cane. Why is it like that? Because the red color line indicates that there is a disease that is called red rot. That is called red rot disease in sugar cane. Like that, potatoes also have diseases. Potatoes, in one particular time, complete one country, they had a famine because their complete potato crop was infected, and because of that famine, they got famine. You know that in foreign countries potato is most of the people have eat potato as their staple food. So all these kinds of diseases, and there are many other plant diseases that you can if you want, I'll tell them later also. Okay, and then coming to this is also caused through air. Okay, it spreads from tree to tree, and this is also through red rot is also through air only. Bacterial disease, this is also this is caused by fungi. This is caused by fungi, and this is caused by bacteria. And here what happens is through seeds, it is spread through seeds or through air. Okay, next, for example, seedling here means sugarcane. Sugarcane, how is it planted? It is cut and then planted. Suppose there is red rot inside the sugarcane that you are planting, obviously it grows with the disease only, right? And then Tikka disease of groundnut. Tikka disease of groundnut, you know groundnuts, no, peanuts. The leaves will have, they have these spotty things like this. That's why it is called Tikka disease. What is it called? Tikka disease. And it is seen in groundnuts, and it is also caused by fungus. It is also caused by fungi, and this is also spread through air and seeds. Suppose the plant is having the disease and we did not dispose the seeds, we are using those seeds again to grow the next crop, then obviously you will get what? Diseased crop only. So we need to be very careful what type of plant seeds we are collecting. Next thing is tobacco mosaic. You know mosaic, no? How does it look like? It looks like chippy like this, chippy. The complete tobacco leaf, you know, tobacco leaf will be, you might have seen a dry tobacco leaf, it will be like this. The complete leaf will have the chippy nature, and actually tobacco you can roll it, it's like leather and all, you can roll it and you can use it. But this, when it is infected with this tobacco mosaic virus, it is viral disease. Actually this is viral disease. This is bacteria. What is it? Citrus canker. Citrus canker is bacterial disease. This is fungal disease. Red rot is fungal disease. Tikka is fungal disease. But tobacco mosaic virus is a viral disease. Okay, and here the leaf is useless actually for us. It won't be stored, it won't be rolled, it won't be in any way useful. And how is it spread? It is spread through insects. It is not spread for all these things, it is spread through air or seeds, but here it is spread through insects. And then smut disease of rice, smut disease, and it is again caused by, oh, have done so, let me do one thing. Citrus canker, Xanthomonas citri canker, Xanthomonas citri, it's a bacteria, it's caused by air. And then what do we have? Red rot. Red rot is caused by fungi and through air. And seedling, seedling means what? A cut part of the sugarcane. And then Tikka disease. Tikka disease in again is fungi and air, and caused from air and seeds. And then what is it? Tobacco mosaic virus. It is a viral disease carried by insects. Viral disease carried by insects. It is not airborne, or it is not from the seeds or anything. Then smut disease of rice. Smut disease of rice. And here the rice plant will not be able to give healthy grain at all. And what is it? It is caused by fungus and through air. It spreads through air. And there are many such plant diseases. If you ever get a chance, or if you know some farmers, you ask them what are the types of diseases they came across when they are growing their crop, then that knowledge is going to be more useful to you. You will remember that forever. Okay, a few more if you want, I'll give you in the next session. Now coming to, because I just want to make it fast, tomorrow I want to wind up this lesson. Now coming to, these are plant diseases. Previously we learnt about anthrax, smallpox, and bird flu, cowpox, all these rabies, all these are what? Animal diseases. And human being diseases we already established, like we came to know. Now what else the microorganisms like are harmful? In which way are they harmful? They cause food poisoning. First thing is they cause diseases. First thing is they cause diseases, and second thing is they cause food poisoning. Okay. How does the food poison take place? Food poisoning takes place if you know amoebiasis, entamoeba histolytica. Amoebiasis means when contaminated water is taken or something, you will get the problem, diarrhea and all. There is another disease, food poisoning, like Clostridium botulinum. Clostridium botulinum. This is the bacteria which causes botulism. Botulism. What is botulism? Continuous diarrhea. How do you get that? When you are eating unhygienic food or eating food in unhygienic places, which is having too many flies or mosquitoes which sit on the garbage and then again sit on the food, uncovered food or stale food or spoiled food. If you eat these kind of foods, then it results in food poisoning. What happens is, sometimes when the food poisoning occurs, naturally the stomach will reject the food, and you will be able to overcome that by vomiting. Sometimes food poisoning happens in such a slow rate, step by step. Then what happens is, the body is unable to resist it and the body functions stop. And how do you suffer? You will suffer by vomiting and diarrhea, and sometimes it may cause to death also. So we need to be very careful what type of food we are eating. So never go for stale food or spoiled food or raw food. Some people know, for variety of reasons, they eat properly uncooked meat. Meat should be properly cooked. Every time meat always should be properly cooked. Vegetables and all, that's a different thing, but meat should be always properly cooked. If we can follow all these things, we will be able to overcome these problems. So how to overcome these problems of not able to get the food spoiled? Refrigeration or boiling or heating or drying or adding oil or adding salt. In your class 6, you might have learnt, you already learnt, like how to preserve food. We can preserve food by drying it, removing the moisture from it and adding salt to that, or adding and leaving it in oil. Ask your mother how she, without even grandmothers, no, they didn't go for any convent education, but they know how to preserve food. So ask them, they are more knowledgeable. Okay, so that's how, by heating more or cooling it, we can prevent the growth of microorganism in food. That way we can preserve the food. We will learn more about types of preservation tomorrow's lesson. Bye.